School Freeware's free Pascal program tutorials. Tutorial 18, Arrays. An array is a data structure. It can hold data of the same data type. Arrays can take the place of multiple variables. For example, if we wanted to have the computer hold 5 names, we could either use one array or 5 variables. If we wanted the computer to hold 100 names, we can use one array or 100 variables. So in this particular case, one array is much more simple and easier to work with than multiple variables. The array syntax is as follows. We have the name of the array, a colon, array, followed by the range of the number of elements we want, of the data type, ending with a semicolon. For this tutorial, we will have an array that will hold 5 names. So this array will be called names, array 1 through 5, of string. Each part of the array is given a number. For example, with our names array, be 1 through 5. We can load information into the array. So the first element will be named Jim, followed by Joan, followed by Jan, Jill, and Jeff. So this array should now look like this. If we wanted to write the third element of the names array to the screen, we can go ahead and do that by right line, names 3, so the computer will go to get Jan, and Jan will be written to the screen. The code used within this tutorial can be downloaded for free at schoolfreeware.com. A new program has been created, and the procedure to make the computer stop when the program quits has been added. What I'm going to do is go ahead and make the array of names. In var, I'll make the array names, array. There'll be 5 names of string. I'm also going to use a for loop, so I'll have x as an integer, use that as a counter. And here within the main program, I can go ahead and start loading in the names into the array. Names 1 will set as Jim. Names 2 will set as Joan. Names 3 we'll go ahead and set as Jan. Names 4 we'll set as Jill. And names 5 will be loaded as Jeff. Okay, I can go ahead and right line any part of the array out to the screen by calling names, and then what element I want. I'll just have element 3. And I'll go ahead and run, and Jan should be printed up there on the screen. Okay, so that works. If I wanted to print all the names in the array, I can right line names 1, names 2, names 3, and so forth. Or I can use a for loop for x equals 1 to 5, since we have 5 elements in our array. Do, in a right line, names x. So when I go ahead and run, we have all names printed up there on the screen. Now, instead of loading the names into the array as you see here, what I can do is load them in when we make the array. For example, here I'll just delete this, and instead of having the names loaded in down in the program, I can have names array 1 through 5 of string, and then equals within parentheses the names of the array. So that would be Jim, followed by a comma, Joan, comma, Jan, comma, Jill, comma, and Jeff. Close parenthesis. And when we run, we get the same results. Next, what I'm going to do is we'll make another array, this one for numbers. So I'm going to call this array nums. Array will also have 5 elements, 1, 5, of integer. I would like to sum up the nums array, so I'm going to use a variable called sum. Sum will also be an integer. And since we're getting information from the user, I'll verify the user information. UI will be a string, and error will be an integer. Okay, down in the main program, what I'm going to do is make another for loop for x equals 1 to 5. We'll do begin, and we'll have the user load in integers into the nums array. So I'm going to repeat, write, enter integer, read line, the user's input, UI, use the val function to check to see if the user input goes into nums x and get the error. We're going to repeat until error equals 0. And then what I like to do is sum up the array. So I'll set sum to start off as 0. And then using a for loop for x becomes 1 to 5, since I have 5 elements in the array. We're going to do and set sum to equal sum plus nums x. So as we cycle through the array, we will sum up the numbers. And then finally, I'll write line, the sum of the array is sum. Okay, let's go ahead and run this. Enter integer. Okay, we'll have 10, 15, 5, 20, 25, and the sum of the array is 75, 25, 30, 50, 75. Okay, that looks good.